Alright, what's going on? Let's see if I can give you a quick little rundown of what this game looks like when you start it out and some of the basics. Okay, so here's your different classes that you have to start. You can look at your attributes by pressing triangle and it'll give you an idea of what they specialize in. A little more than just, oh, that guy looks cool, right? And then the starting weapons, you'll notice the samurai here, he has ranged and he has close up, but his shield's kind of terrible. The prisoner is more like a sorcerer type build, but with a buckler shield almost, so it's got a good parry. The wretch, you start out with the highest of every stat, like every stat's even across the board. You start at level 1, but you have essentially nothing except for a club. Your confessor here is your faith build. Faith, dex, and strength, so faith quality. Your samurai is your dex, with a little bit of endurance. Your prophet is faith and mind, so he is spellcasty. Your astrologer here, he is your wizard. Bandit is going to be your bleed build up, dex build. So like this is who you want to go with if you're going like pure arcane build down the road. Your hero is like your Conan the Barbarian thug class. You notice he has this highest strength 16. Your warrior is like your all-around melee combat guy. Faith and arcane are pretty low. Intelligence is decent at 10. Your vagabond is going to be another strength dex build, but with a higher starting health, right? Vigor is your health. Endurance is how long you can keep doing things. Vigor is how long you can keep doing things while you're getting this crap smacked out of you. Okay, so let's take a look at show you base level what the game would look like real quick. What are we gonna call this guy? Ari. Nah. Call him Grand Elf. Little Lord of the Rings reference for you. You can set up if you want to a lot of different stats. Some of us save favorites. I got this guy here. He looks pretty much like a basic nonsense guy. Your keepsake. All right, real quick rundown on the keepsakes. They're all pretty useless, but there's two that you might want to start out with. Golden Seed will let you up the amount of flasks you can use. Stone Sword Key will let you get into certain gates that you can only get in with those keys, and you'll see them pretty early on. So I'll show you that real quick. Do a real quick startup. I'm going to skip the tutorial here, just so I can give you a little rundown of how combat works. Skip right through the cutscenes. Get the Ring of Michaela and the ring. Gestures. Gestures are just how you emote to other people. You notice that corpse. Probably not a good sign of things to come here. She did not have a good day, but you know, maybe the next day will be better. It will teach you basic controls on the left side of the screen if you have tutorials on. You probably explored this looking for all the cool stuff. There is no cool stuff here right now. Alright. If you weren't paying attention when you first played this guy surprised the heck out of you. You notice on the right we have a fog gate. That usually means there's a boss room you're either entering or you're just outside. We're gonna see if we can take him on with this, but I've never actually tried a sorcerer build against him. You want to keep your distance, obviously, with a sorcerer. You are not made to tank this nonsense. He is parryable, but you notice he has two different swords attacking you at almost any given time, and I don't think you can parry the crab walk. Nah. So you notice he did not kill me. He took me all the way down low in health, but he didn't kill me. You can succeed in killing him. You can let him kill you all the way, and you can let him do what he just did there, which was almost kill you. This is the tutorial area. If you'd have noticed right at the beginning, there was a sign right on the ground that you were supposed to read, and it was saying, hey, come down here to the tutorial, buddy. But if you're playing this for the first time, you might not know how to read those, so I will show you that too. So, stabby, right? Change your weapons with D-pad, left and right. Well, not necessarily weapons. You change what's in your hand based on what you have equipped with your left and right on the D-pad. You can switch off your sword or your shield, and then that'll let you use your secondary ability on your right-hand weapon. That delay on these is stupid. See? It's way too long. But if you watch, as soon as that hand goes forward is when you want to parry. So I want to show you that. If I can, there you go. So that's the parry. If you walk into them and press R1 after you parry, you get that nice riposte, which is always fun. It does a lot of damage. You can backstab enemies too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Just looking at me. Yeah, there you go. Rolls. Rolls are your best friend. Doesn't matter if you're trying to block, if you're not trying to block. For the foreseeable future, rolls are going to be your best friend. That's our buddy up there. Since you're a sorcerer, you can actually range him, but most people just wait till they get up there to teach him a lesson for that nonsense he's pulling. Notice there are items in this world that you can just pick up off the ground. They're usually pretty easy to spot. Those are the roll fruits. You use those in crafting later. They're pretty decent. The crafting system in this game can get a little nuts, but you could conceivably play the game and never use it. Okay, so I should show you the difference in abilities. So notice now when I press L2 right now, I'm using my parry, but if I two-hand my weapon, I switch over to a kick, and it says that right on the left side of the screen underneath my above my items that you see. I am going to heal. Notice you have a limited number of heals, but they reset when you get to the equivalent to a bonfire in this game. But if you kick, notice how that opened him up for this riposte. And the reason it does that is because you're breaking his guard. There are several ways to break an enemy's guard in this game. One of them is doing a lot of damage really quickly, one of them is parrying, one of them is having them run out of stamina, and then there's the last one is going to be a guard crusher, which I will show you if I can get somebody to actually... I'm going to take damage because this shield sucks, but if you pull... Well, it's not going to work because he dies right away. If you pull right trigger after you block an enemy's attack, you will do a special counter. I don't know if it works with every shield now that I think about it, but we're going to find out. Come on, buddy. Yeah, you heard that? Right, that is that guard breaker, whatever. You can crouch. Left stick in will crouch, and then you can do stealthy backstabs like that. Anytime you hear that extra bass in an attack, that means you're doing something awesome or something really bad is happening to you. Boom, right? He will feel that in the morning if he ever wakes up. So we're going to take a look at the first boss of the game that you can actually fight man to man without just dropping in on you. Come on, buddy. Wow, okay. So this guy, this is Stake America. Basically those bonfires that we wake up at don't always have to be where you respawn if you die. If I died and the Stake of America is closer, it will give me an option to use that instead. Look at how easy this boss could have been. So now it just taught me about guard counters. I don't even know if this is worth going for at this point, but I'm gonna try it. Let's see if we can pull it off. You can. So, that would have, had I not hit him a bunch of times with the sorcery first, that would have instead given me that guard break animation where I was able to then parry him. Over here, there's going to be an item. It is strength. It's another emote. These trees are your best friend in the world. You will see golden seeds like we were talking about before. They give you more heals. Usually you'll find one of those by those trees. There are a few trees like that don't have them, but most of the trees have them. Here's your bonfires. They are called graces, sites of grace, lost graces, whatever. You rest at them, you heal up, you get your heals back. The enemies all respawn unless they are a boss. This is what that stone sword key will work on. These little gargoyle dudes. Some of them require 2, some of them require 1, but do not go to that one unless you're comfortable with that one in particular. These are your co-op and PvP items. Just means you can summon other people into a world. There will be an item later in the game you'll find that will allow other people to put down signs, I think, to invade you. This is Vare? Is that your name, right? Vare? This is the map, right? Oh, the map kind of sucks right now. This is what I was alluding to. You can find more of the map. It's right here. There's like a little tower. I'll show you if I can remove that fog.
Come to the land. Of course you have.
What is your name?
You are fate. Luckily for you, me.
Vare, yeah.
You may also that. It will lead you to.
What is he wears his mask? Nothing creepy about that.
Grace to castle, the home.
Alright. You got anything more important? He will drop your first insult for being maidenless. He's a wild guy. Here's your row of fruit. If you want to learn what these items do, you can go to your inventory menu. Oh, good lord, so many tutorials. And it'll tell you it's used for crafting. Useful, right? But you can, once you get to the point where you actually start crafting things, you can get better clues as to what they are. This guy has killed you. I don't care who you are. You could be the best Elden Ring player in the game. You saw him. You said, I want his horse, thinking that if you killed him, you would get his horse. You will not. Thin beast bones are great for crafting arrows. Bones in general are great for crafting arrows, but you can also just buy them later. Like I said, all the crafting in this game is completely avoidable. Notice I walked away from our golden friend. Once you get here, you see our friend. He's got a donkey. This is the Church of Ella. This is your first smithing stone, which you use for upgrading items. This is a smithing table, which you can also use for upgrading your weapons. This is a vendor. There are plenty of these vendors out here. Kale, in particular, has a little bit of a quest going. He is friends with Blyde, the Wolfman. He will give you advice to buy a crafting kit, and you should. That means you can upgrade your stuff, craft your items on the go. These cookbooks are awesome. You use those for crafting more stuff. Makes sense, right? Here's hints. You can buy these notes, they're hints. But right now, we are going to piece the hell out of here. We're going to touch this grace. We're going to get annoyed by the amount of tutorials that are popping up. We're going to touch this grace, because we haven't done it yet. I'm going to take you real quick to the first area you should go to after the tutorial. Basically, you're just going to follow the path. The game is really good about teaching you to follow the path. Also notice, your map, it is pointing the direction you should go. These little flaming things pointing in one direction will gradually take you to main story. This here, where I'm putting this one right now, this icon, if you see this in a gray map like we're looking at now, that is going to be the spot you can use to highlight your map. And I will show you that by placing, think of it, that little icon, which will show up in the world, and that will tell us exactly where to go. You can fight these guys, you can wait till later. It does not matter. They will be here. There's some cool items here, just kidding, they're pretty basic, but always good to have. These are kukris. They are throwing daggers. Real quick, they cause bleed buildup. And if you want to know if they cause bleed buildup, you can actually look at them. In your equipment menu, you can... Am I crazy? Item equipment. They will tell you, throw at enemies to inflict damage and build up onset of blood loss. Alright, notice that blue light coming from the sky. That was not there before. That is because I put a map marker down. That map marker, grab ourselves some more crafting for later. That map marker is pointing pretty close to where I pointed on the map. It's a little off, but that's because the map is so expansive and I was a little inaccurate in where I placed it. But essentially, this place is hell for a new player. Okay, oh, I can show you the guard break. Hold on. Now, we don't want our friend with the trumpet. Oh, wow. Okay. I did run out of stamina, so I did die. But that gives me a chance to show you that. Notice how I could spawn at the Stake of America. Alright. That is going to put me basically where I just was. This little lady here, looking like she's got no arms. She's armless, don't worry. She is going to point at nothing because she has no arms. Just kidding. Oh, these guys. Notice how this guy has white eyes under that helmet. If you kill him, you get 5 times the amount of souls you would, I believe it's 5 times, off of a normal enemy of this type. So notice I got 320 souls. Which means that on a basic enemy, if it is 5 times, which I believe it is, we're going to get 64 for the same exact type of enemy. Now, that's that guard break animation. Notice how he went right down and I give right into that riposte. Do it one more time here. Oh, no we won't because we ran out of stamina. God, the sorcerer's weak. Boom, 1 and then in. And 77. Weird. Okay, this is the map marker. Pretty much, this gets you the map of Limgrave. We are not going to hang out here because that guy just used that trumpet. You might have heard it. And basically what that means is this whole camp is pretty upset. So we're just going to move along. We're going to light this grace. We're probably going to get murked. Because I don't think we're going to sit in time. Oh no, we did. Okay. You're going to meet this lady. She is going to give you your horse. You can say no to her.
Have you heard? They serve, but I can play turning to 80. You need only
When she offers to be your maiden, because you're maidenless, don't say no to her.
I bequeath.
Why would you? Why would you be like that?
Use it. It will some torrent has treat him with.
That's just mean. Okay, so, boom. You can talk to her later. She will disappear into fog. Seems normal. This is your map now. Notice there are different things going on here on your map. We've came from runes. We have the areas we came to, or from. We can fast travel now. We are going to fast travel now. We're going to do one quick thing. After you come here, if it is nighttime, you are going to go back to the Church of Ella, and you're going to meet everybody's favorite cosplay hero.
A pleasure to meet thee, tarnished.
Our one-eyed friend, Rena.
I'd hand upon looking in the talk I so art possessed to call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
You might notice she has 4 arms. I can call the spectral
As I had
steed. That's what I just got from
I was entrusted this for
my
thee.
nice lady friend.
'Tis a bell for
So,
calling summon
she
them where
gives
the
you
spirits will have
bells.
been. Now it is thy. Forgive
She lets you
mine
summon
indulgence.
spirits.
How long before the time?
And she also disappears in fog. Okay, one other thing I want to show you. If you press start or options or the 3 lines button on a PlayStation controller, because God knows what they're doing, you have different things you can change. You can use gesture. On the right side, you have a pouch. Pouch is super cool. What I like to do with my pouch is set it so that I have things I want where I want them. If I press, I'm going to set this down to be my, where is it? Am I blind? Yes, my spectral steed whistle, which looks a lot like a ring. Interesting. If you press triangle and down now that I set that, boom, there's torrent. If I press it again, torrent leaves. If I'm on torrent, I can jump. I can double jump. He can space jump right wherever he wants to. If you want to get off quick, left on the, or left stick. The last thing I'm going to show you real quick about this game is when you are in this world, you will see certain areas that little gravestones appear, which I might be able to use. Yes, okay. Left side of the screen, notice that little tombstone looking thing? That means I can summon one of those spirits, which we're not going to put on a weapon. Boom, there's my lone wolf ashes, right? What that means is that if I switch my items by pressing down on the D-pad, and I press square to use an item, now I have my lone wolves. So, these guys can help you out. They will fight enemies, but they cannot venture out of certain areas. So notice that they're sort of flashing on that left side. That is because I am leaving the area they're allowed to be. They are made to hang out over here. Why would they be made to hang out over here, you might ask? Well, what did we see here that we were going to avoid? That's right. The warrior of Bling himself is right there. So they can help you out with him, but he will curb stomp their souls. So he's not worth fighting right now. Notice they disappeared. I did not do that. The game did that. It knows better. You go back to Gatefront. I'm going to show you one more thing on the map. Alright, here's your map. Different things in the map without labels, right? This is a telescope. You can use it to look straight in this direction. It'll show you cool stuff. These black markers with like a little archway, those are caves. They are not highlighted until you set a grace there. If you touch a grace there, most of the time you can fast travel to them. There are a lot of those. Sometimes they're lit up on the map, sometimes they aren't. You may notice I am looking very carefully in this area. I don't see one, but I know there's one here. So, I also know there's one right here. I think that they only show up on the map once you visit them or pass by close enough to see them. Like Coastal Cave, or sorry, Stranded Graveyard and the Cave of Knowledge. Coastal Cave is more here-ish, maybe here. Yeah, this is your map. Looks really big. There's several layers to how big it gets. Alright, but anyway, that is a quick rundown of the basics. Hope that helps.